I want to do some more Covenant 25. Just experimenting with some stuff. Seeing what works, what doesn't. Trying out maybe a few new things, few new strategies. Stuff like that. Some of these runs may just go awfully wrong. But that's worth it if we learn something while at it. So let's jump in and see what we can find. Okay, we are playing Remnant and Wurmkin today. Hi Chris, welcome. We have Draff, Bogfly, Memories of the Melted. We have the Reaps, the Fractures, and we have Drakes. Our champion is Rector Flicker. We're facing off against Talos, Arcus with Incant and Harvest, and Seraph the Patient. Okay, Dripfall, always an exciting starting card. We have Bogflies, which are very nice early game. Just because they can like easily reach 20-25 damage. Pretty nice to have them. And Memories of the Melted for energy. Then we might find a good use for later on. Exploding Candle and Lightstone Casing. Let's go with Exploding Candle here. And there is Dark Calling available. Yeah, let's try using Dark Calling. Reforming things, maybe Wurmkin stuff, maybe X, maybe Bogflies, maybe mix it up with some traditional reform targets from the Melting Remnant. We'll see what we get here. It's Flicker, Dark Calling. Flicker is often a very how should I put this? A very flexible champion, where often your plan involves a lot of moving parts that you can mix and match kinda in the way you want to. Now there are a few things that we need to consider with Rector Flicker. If we want to reform something that has died in the same turn, Rector Flicker needs to be lower than that unit we want to reform. Otherwise it won't work out. If we want to optimize the time we have Rector Flicker out on the board, then Rector Flicker would need to be higher up. So it's all kind of a little bit difficult. Here I think what I am gonna do, I'm gonna try this out. What happens if I kill my drag with Reap? Will I get to reform the drag immediately with Rector Flicker? So does Reap trigger before Resolve? We don't need to slow down. Yeah, it does. Definitely did work out there. So we gain a +5/+5. And an additional 5 attack. Can we get through 30 health? That is 28, 33, but then we have no damage left. That can actually hit the collector, so not quite. That is a shame. But I feel like we do want to set up this floor. Kill this Disciple Protector anyways. Transient is a pretty bad reform target. I will take the Ember Drain here. I don't think it matters too much for us. The backlanders die to the Candle because a drag. I am, well, not very clever. No, I might still be pretty clever, but that wasn't that wasn't one of my brightest moments. I have candle, I can get that collector. I did like our start here. We could use the exploding candle on the bottom, but collector dies. It's that simple. We just need a drag to die, that's all we need here. We can't quite kill the Disciple Protector, but that's fine. Really don't want to reform Train Stewards. I guess again we take this Amber Drain there. Yeah, Candle kills the backliners. Let's start setting up this bottom floor. Review. We don't really need Dripfall right now. And then we need a drag on the top floor to get the kill there. Do want a drag on the bottom floor to get the kill on the crossbow man there. How much damage do you add? 19? 3 times? It's about 60, not quite. Nine is not enough here on the top, but it will be enough because we also increase the reap damage. If we put you in front, we have... That will be enough, yes. So we can actually put this guy on the bottom floor. But isn't the Bogfly just better? Might not be. You can actually tank some hits. You will attack. And attack again, and then attack a third time. We definitely play the Reap. This increases the Reap damage on top and buffs the Bogfly, so I think the drag should be the way to go here. Yeah, we are almost there. Very, very close. Next floor will get it, no problem, we just need a single hit. But on top of that we also get a drag, so... That worked out quite well. We need to keep quite a few units around. This Draff is infused. Good reform target, I want it. Shelter, Proclamation and Hosting Kin. I don't think we want Hosting Kin here. Or Shelter actually. Don't think these are what we want to go for. But we do pick up a Proclamation, I think. Paraffin Enforcer. Now that is a powerful essence for a draft, that's for sure. Do we try to build around drafts? Last time we tried, it kinda didn't work out that well, mostly because we ended up not drawing our drafts at the right time and stuff like that. And then eventually we had our drafts, but they didn't have enough health. So let's go. But yeah, let's try. We got offered 3 remnant units, so it's kind of meant to be, I think, that we go heavy into remnant reform, try this flexible game plan out that I'm very used to from the old pre-DLC melting remnant, but yeah, let's see how this changed. Resin block is an amazing pickup here. I like carving Karuska a lot. But our only extract spell is Proclamation. And Resin block is probably very close to the best artifact we could have gotten here. Big Sludge. Big Sludge I think is a bit slower. If anything here, we would pick the Lady of the Reformed. Helps us keep our burnout units alive for longer. In case we need that. It's usually pretty important to have some form of longevity in your game plan with reform, because some bosses do come with stealth or just are tanky enough to survive your burnout, and then you are sad because your units are all dead. Lady of the Reform can definitely help with that. There is a Wick Stone. I could put that on a Draff, but that delays the reform, so I don't think I want to do that. I kind of want more health on the Lady of the Reformed. I'm gonna go with an upgrade on a Drag instead. Do I want a large stone? That is a lot of health on the Lady of the Reformed, but it also reduces capacity. Maybe that's fine. Makes her harder to play though. Our first upgrade might very well be capacity though, so I think I'm okay with this. Do I reroll? No, I think... No, I think not. I keep my money. Non-boss enemy units enter with spikes. We have a sweeper here. That is a slight problem. So we need to make sure that we reform our units enough to actually get to the health value we want them to be. I think Rector on the top floor is a pretty good call. And is this already a fight where we choose not to play the train stewards? Might be. Can we have a burnout to unit die on this floor? No, but we can use Fracture to get the kill. It's probably what we should do. I'm a bit worried about this wave. I think I'm gonna start dealing with some of those enemies. That reduces their threat by quite a bit. Draff on the top floor. So immediately get to reform it. Because we only have one Bogfly in the reform pool otherwise. What if we descended you? Kill this floor here. Get a decent amount of damage on you. Now, if I play the Draft on the bottom floor to deal some damage against the boss, the problem is that this Draft will be gone by the time, or rather it will die after the resolve trigger, so we won't get it back. And then we don't have anyone to place behind the Lady of the Reformed. I could put the Draft there right now. Against this High Priest of the Light, we definitely need to fracture you. We can't keep the thorns on the boss. That is... Well, we don't have to, because we can use these anyways. Bogfly does survive a hit, so I think I want to have it here. That takes the Disciple Protector down, which is quite nice. I just wish we had more damage, no, more health on this Draft. But I think the Draft should go here, so that we can maximize boss damage with it. And the lady finishes the boss. That is nice. Another infused Draft. Draft being infused is really good because we reform it constantly. So we can gain candy over and over with it. Weak Clash is also pretty good. But I think I want the second Draft. Maybe I should have gone for upgrading a Draft and duping it, but I think I want it early. I don't like these choices. Forgotten Trade, we don't really have a good usage for that energy yet. Let's look at some more unit upgrades and the Wurmkin banner. What's in the temple? We have value and purge. We have quick. And in here we have first of kin and keeper of echoes. Keeper of echoes could certainly be a thing. What happens if we use the lady's essence? She's a bit less appealing with the large stone already in her, but plus 20 health and summon applies burnout 3 to friendly units. That is not terrible. Maybe it's something I should try out. I don't think we are gonna go heavy into edge. We currently have one consume spell. And we are likely to pick up a few more, but not like a crazy consume engine. It might happen, but it also might not. So I don't think first of kin is our choice. I wonder if Keeper of Echoes makes it though. We're not a very spell heavy deck. We have mostly units, but many of our units are shard infused. Or echo infused. Just generally infused. So we could trigger Inspire a few times, but we are limited by capacity. Floor-wide buffs are always welcome with Drafts and even Dregs. So in that regard, the Keeper of Echoes isn't terrible. But I feel like it just doesn't quite cut it. We have quick in here. What are the other upgrades? Speed and Battlestone. I am gonna get a Battlestone on one of the drafts. Sometimes their low health is a bit of an issue. I will also buy the Heartstone for the lady and then reroll. I don't think we want Speedstone. Is Endless interesting for us? Not that interesting. Let's upgrade you with another plus 10, and I think you get the Heartstone. It seems we are giving these drafts health, but I feel like it's the correct choice. I feel like it matters a bit more than I'm used to. Bogfly could even be a decent essence for a draft, but let's go with the Paraffin Enforcer first. This is gonna go on this draft. This is not just to buff the draft itself, but more so kinda to buff other units. We have 50 shards, we don't need to get any more right away. And there is a 5x copy option. Do we go for it? I think we go for it. Now it's definitely capacity that we want. These train stewards have no space on our train anymore. Do we need to hoard money? Not really. We don't care too much about spell upgrades right now. We barely have any spells to upgrade. So yeah. Let's try to juggle some drafts. The knockback armor Talos. I think we are pretty decently prepared against her. This is burnout 3 now. I think this can just be a somewhat permanent flaw with burnout units and Lady of the Reformed. Can Ragdoll Flicker be in the middle floor? With lifesteal 8, okay. Ragdoll Flicker on the middle floor. That would allow us to immediately start reforming a drag. Drag is not that critical. We might need to be able to reform a draft pretty soon. You do knockback on hit. That is fine. That is something we can pretty easily and comfortably jump block. And I don't think I even want this Bogfly out. I think a floor like this is just gonna win, although Talos will start messing with our ordering pretty soon. Why are you healing up? Lifesteal. That makes sense. Yep, our ordering got switched up. So now these drafts will not burn out as easily anymore. This draft will burn out. We could put another one here. Might be good. And even a drag. It's pretty decent damage. The rage on the bottom floor is certainly scaling up. $45 times 2, that's a good amount of damage. Pretty solid. Do we want to put these units on the top floor? I don't think we have to. And I don't think we should. What we might want to do is... No, not you. This one. Ripfall, new drafts down there. This might be a safe space to put train stewards on. And leave it at that. And yeah, this is just enough to kill Talos with Lady at 43 rage and the Draff at 38. We did get the 5 times dupe event, which is super powerful. But other than that, we don't... Well, we also have Resin Block and Exploding Candle, so I guess we have pretty nice relics here. Wurmkin Etchings and Accelerated Incubation are obviously not for this deck. Formless Child could be, but we would need to have a Draff in the discard, or rather in the reform pool. And with Rector Flicker being a thing, that might not always be easy. I think we'll skip. Maybe I should have considered the Essence. I don't think Bog Chrysalis is a thing at this point that we want to consider. It would have been nice a bit earlier. One of these drafts, maybe even an Essence. No, we can't use. This one draft might just end up being an Essence for the Lady of the Reformed. To give her a multi-strike. With the rage scaling, that might matter quite a bit. We definitely want the capacity. We want to be able to fit all these drafts onto our floors. What will we dupe at the Hellwent? I kind of don't want to dupe anything. But I do want the removals. I don't care about the Remnant banner, but I also don't care much about the Merchant of Magic. And I think the removals are just better than these two options. So let's go to the right. We might still find something nice here. You know, that is not bad. That can just take out an enemy. Do we need piercing on it? Yeah, that means we can more easily take Hellwents. No, trials with Spell Shield. Yeah, and I think the burnout on the Lady is definitely worth it. Not the burnout. That also helps. The multi-strike. I should have looked in here first, but I'm unlikely to take anything, even a Bounty Stalker. Even a Bounty Stalker. I think we have our general game plan. We just need to figure out what we are weak against and how we solve that. We have a little bit of a problem with tough enemies. Like enemies that can survive us. Dripfall can help against those. Proclamation is helpful against those. Some bosses can cause us problem, most notably the stealth one, Crystal Cloak. We might have to reuse Our Lady of the Reformed, which is not always possible. Because if she dies on the bottom floor, then she will be reformed on the 3rd floor only. So, hi Karas, welcome! I really liked your Train Steward and Dante runs that you showed me. Pretty interesting, yeah. Huge Train Stewards. Maybe it's a second Lady of the Reform we need. Let's get the Train Stewards out. We don't have room for these. We do want to get Dark Calling Rector. Again. Right. And try to get a few drafts killed off early, so we have some reform targets. The spikes help the lady take damage. But I do think we want to get a draft just killed. And the other one can be in the back for now. Rector on the 2nd floor worked out pretty well last time. Should work out pretty well this time as well. No, I want him on the top. I want him to be able to reform the stuff that dies on the bottom floor to replay it on the top. Draft still dies even if we kill this guy. We are waiting for drafts. Let's play these out on the top floor. Here's our first draft that died. Came back. Let it die again. If we put the second draft in the back, it should work out nicely. That's not that much damage though. Maybe we say this is a finished draft, it can go in the back and then we let the new one die. Let's get you down. Let's put a drag here. And a drag there. We will need one drag. Otherwise this Quill Marksman might kill our Rector Flicker. It won't happen like this, they die to the candle. So that's nice at least. Lady of the Reform dies, that is a pretty good timing for that. We could also use a Draff instead, but I kinda like her dying. What is our reform this turn? So we have 2 units we can reform now. This drag will be dying. So we have 3 units actually. We might not hit the draft. What if we blocked with a draft on the top floor instead? Then we have 2 drafts we can hit. Put some drags up on the top floor. Might as well memories just to get some candy pretty much. We did get 1 draft back. This is another finished draft that we can put down on the bottom floor. Top floor will burn out in time. We are not guaranteed the Lady of the Reformed. I would really like to get her back, but it might not happen. That's okay. I don't think we want to play any of these. We did get her back though. But even without her, we're doing 300 damage to the Pyolite Master. And we have a pretty strong second floor, and we will be able to reform a pretty strong top floor as well. And the backliners would also die if the boss survived to the candle, so... Bog Slime. That has very minimal impact right now. But it might be more impactful later. How is it anything else but Hallowed Halls here? Like, this deck has to pick Hallowed Halls, right? We just... yeah... with Resin Block. And I think this is another skip. What are we still afraid of? Wrong reform timings? I would take a reform card now, I guess. Rector Flicker is not always the most reliable. In case we do get wrong reform timings, like a huge damage spell would be nice, but Power of Knowledge isn't that for us. Soul Crushing Guild is certainly very nice. Just days 3, that's good. But I don't think it really solves our weakness or helps our strength. Our strengths, rather. More removals are very much appreciated, and we still have quite a lot of room for some upgrades. Like this. I don't think I want the Heartstone on the Draft now. 30 health is plenty. So I'm gonna reroll. Do I want quick on a Draft? I definitely want a Battle Stone on one and a Strength Stone on another one. And then I think I will take a quick Draft as well. The next ones on the chopping blocks are clearly the Bogflies. What is our option on this floor? Merchant of Trinkets, Unstable Vortex, Forgotten Boons. What would be great relics for us? We already have pretty much the best one in Resin Block. Fate's First Blade would be solid. I am not sure if I want Combustible Wax. That seems unnecessary. Flicker's Liquor, not really that important. Memorial Fund and Mold Bracers would be okay, but nothing too exciting. Most of the Wurmkin stuff isn't that great. We've already seen Koruska, which is most likely the best one of them. Unless Echo Sealing could be good. Some of the general relics, Grindstone would actually be quite good in this deck. Winged Steel is always good, Vapor Funnel is pretty much always good. Not that many relics that we really want here. Maybe we take the left path, but there's also removals here. And we don't really want that many drags in the deck or that many fractures, so the removals are still quite valuable. I'm gonna keep my money because I am probably going to the right, and if we see a good relic, we want to be able to afford it. Mark of Invasion, huh? With Exploding Candle, that is not a problem. Also, Sweep Boss. That is something that matters. That won't work out with the Exploding Candle for the top floor. We can clear the top floor if we play the Lady of the Reformed there, but do I want to do that? I think we take 6. We just get rid of 2 of them. The final one hits us for 6. And we leave it at that. Try to get the second wave down instead. and prepare for the actual threats. This one is definitely quite the threat. $14, 25 damage incoming. We have 20 on the bottom floor. That won't quite kill a Draff. This one is easy. This one is already solved. And I think we do want to go for that easy solution there. Well, this Draft can kill these units, buff up the Lady of the Reformed, so we actually have some damage on the overcharge tank. Then I play the other lady. It's not ideal. Here is where the proclamation would have been really nice. What if we just put 2 drafts on the top floor? That would be 40 damage, plus whatever they gain from rage. They will buff each other, so it's actually quite a bit more than that. It's not easy, because this next wave is sending another overcharge tank our way. This gives us the damage to kill that one at least. I think we want to reform this lady and 2 drafts here on the bottom floor. And not just 2 drafts. Wait. Energy. We are ember drained. At least our top floor has the power to deal with this wave. All these harvest triggers are gonna be annoying with Hellowed Halls. I think we have to go for this floor though. Otherwise this wave might cause trouble. And the best we can do is drag Hellowed Halls. Alright. The candle also helps deal with that. Helps a lot actually. So we don't have to focus around the top floor too much anymore, because this floor is now very ready. And we can actually aim to kill the boss next turn. It won't happen on the bottom floor. I can tell you that much. Well, Dripfall could make it happen, potentially. The boss is the sweeper guy. Maybe. It's worth a shot. That should have gone on the Quill Marksman. Might as well get that 1 candy for 2 damage on that guy. Yeah, figured that was not gonna be enough. That is not the quick draft, nor is this one. Let's get the drag sacrificed in the front, killing the backliner, then we use a draft here. What if we send you to the bottom floor? 18 damage? Yeah, you would do a decent amount. 608. The draft here and then apply some reap. This Draff does burn out, the backliners die to the sweep, but we can put a dripfall on you for some days. And then these additional drags will actually help quite a bit. 84 attack. Wow. Wicked Blaze. It is infused as well. Fatal Melting is also good. But I am gonna go for the Wicked Blaze. I sometimes need some targeted reform. I kinda wanna make it permafrost. Just so that we have the flexibility to use it whenever we need to. Force Contamination could be decent. Yeah, that is good. We have pretty decent hits a lot of the time. Let's take a look at this. Faulty Loader. That helps deal with the first wave. When our drafts aren't that big. It also dazes the first wave, which might sometimes be a downside. Because it makes it harder for us to kill our drafts. I should actually now have considered going for the spell upgrades, because spell upgrades suddenly matter a lot more to me. But I think it's enough if we get them here. We get the removals, relic, merchant of steel next. Faulty Loader. Do I want it? It can kinda work pretty well. Let's take a look at the spell upgrades available here. Let's go with Value Stone Hallowed Halls. Don't think we want to make anything intrinsic right now. The most important thing to have in our opening hand is drafts. And we can't make those intrinsic, and every other card we make intrinsic makes it less likely that we actually find the drafts. Yeah, I think Faulty Loader is very much worth it. We don't have any Extinguish triggers. Right? Exploding Candle I think counts as an Extinguish trigger, but I'm not sure. But that alone is not worth picking up Wax or Snuffer. I'm pretty sure Resin Block doesn't. Or does anyone know otherwise? Well, if we don't know, we pick it up and find out. What are our next removals? Memories, Fracture, and Drags. We don't want to remove too many Drags, but I wouldn't mind removing one or two. But first we go and get rid of some Fractures. Let's move on. I am very glad we don't face the Daze Dark Shard here. That one could have been really bad for us. Let's consume this just for a candy. And I don't care if I make Fracture 2 cost. That reform is worth quite a bit. So, Our Lady of the Reform base stats are 25 attack, I think. Now it's 40 attack. Why does it show 50 attack on this one? That is very unusual. Huh. Can we get a Draff killed here? Not yet, but soon. And I think it's worth setting up for some Drafts to die, even if we have to pass on a Lady of the Reformed here. This one is still dazed, so let's get the kill. This Draff now dies. This Draff definitely wants to be in front because it gets to strike first. Maybe around here. Anything we want to descend anywhere? Not really. Soon we will have our first few finished drafts. We get 2 more dying. You might want to die as well. Could get a lot of damage onto this guy. Think that's worth it. Do we put we'll get... You know what? We'll take 1 instead of 2 of these Scorchers. We're a bit energy starved here. We definitely play this Draft out. That one can go in the back now. You sweep, so you will hit the Lady of the Reformed. So the burnout timer does go up on these units. And I think we go with the most aggressive draft that we have here in the back. You're not dying this turn, that's great. So I can play these things out safely. You have spell shield, so let's get this draft to die. Don't want Ember Drain, do I care about that at all? Not really. This bottom floor looks pretty much finished. These guys have stacked their rage. So I don't think I want to Hallowed Halls that floor, but this floor on the other hand, that might be good. That's quite a potent floor. I will take the Ember Drain here. That is not... That is a sizable amount of damage. This will be another about 100. Sure. No, now she burns out. Whoops. Well, we have the kill on the next floor easily. Let's play a final Hallowed Halls. Make these guys even bigger. And then kill Arcus before combat starts. The Hour of Death has a decent essence, but that's about it. Echoes of the Past could be nice. That's a lot of damage, and we don't do much with our candy anyways. Do we want 1 more capacity now, or do we want to go into other territories? I'm gonna go with more capacity. Makes it easier to set up Draft floor, stuff like that. Cheater's Hand and Base Charge. Base Charge doesn't matter too much. Cheater's Hand does matter a little. And let's get the final Dark Calling path. Endless Attack Battlestone. We only have 2 drafts left unupgraded. One gets a Battlestone, the other might get Multi-Strike. The other gets multi-strike. And let's keep these Dregs somewhat combat ready. We don't want all of them. I'm gonna remove one here and a fracture. Although we probably could use most of them nowadays with the extra capacity. Nowadays. Now that we have the extra capacity, we could probably make a bit more liberal use of these drafts. You die on the top floor, right? You also take the Ember Drain very well. We get you reformed and ready on the second floor. Do I want to play out both ladies? I think so. Get them ready. Still don't need Wicker Blaze. Any Draff on the top floor will do. Take this one. We have to deal with Ember Drain this turn. Wanna start reforming you, I think. And the multi-strike Draff for sure. And the other Draff as well, because we can. And this kills the backliner. With all these exploding Drafts and Drags. Top floor Draft didn't quite die, but that's fine. We don't have anything to reform still. We kinda have permafrost on it now. This floor is okay. We don't need to do anything here. We can put that Draff out. It's quick, so it will deal some damage and then die. That is fine. I'm okay with you dying, actually. More than just okay, I want you to die. Let's get some candy here on the top floor. Doesn't change anything, interestingly enough. If we play the proclamation there. So let's not use our candy. This might be the turn where we want to play Wicker Blaze. Top floor is fine. This Draft even dies, which is pretty okay for me. It burns out anyway, so... Don't think we need Dripfall this turn. Let's play Wicker Blaze, bring back the lady here. Kinda wanna prevent the damage to this middle floor lady. She's burnout 6, so, and she does get hit by the backliner with multi-strike, so... Can kill our Draff here, and then... that might have been the wrong order. Maybe having her die is actually the better plan. We can kill her off, I think. Yeah, we have a fracture. Do want to play an Echoes of the Past. We do have Hallowed Halls and Wicker Blaze left in our draw. So the chances that we get one or the other are fairly high. Any of those would be quite good. I think this goes on the multi-striker. You still die, right? So that is fine. Flicker can handle the top quite well. Oh, we might as well save the damage on him. Okay. These guys don't have rage yet, so they're the perfect target for Hallowed Halls. We do potentially want to Wicked Blaze something after the Hallowed Halls. Fracture is unimportant. I do want to get you out because you're a great reform target. You're still solid as a reform target, but there's better stuff. Let's see what we can do here. That will actually just do fine. Yeah. That was good. Sacrificial Resurrection, Memento Mori and the Mortal Entrapment. You know, Memento Mori could actually be our boss killer in this deck. Could it? We have about like 15-20 units die. So it's just like a proclamation. That's not a boss killer. And it will need a lot of time to get to that point. So no. And on top of that, it's also 3 cost, so yeah. Not the best thing in the world. Combustible wax. Do we care if our units don't burn out? I don't think we care. It makes the ladies much more easy to use. I think I want it. There's Grindstone and First Blade. Huh. How much are they? 260, 240? So we can't afford many upgrades at all. We can only buy 1 cost reduction if we want to get them. There would be Freestone though. What's in the Divine Horde? Karuska? Haven't we passed that up once? That helps with playing exactly Proclamation. Mark of a Champion is 25 attack for Rector. That is not nothing, but it's also not really that useful. 25 gold will allow us to buy another cost reduction, or no, not another cost reduction. It would only be magic power, and we can't really fit that in. So that's also not good. The gold, I mean. I guess Mark of a Champion then. Let's take the Pyre Health for sure. I think I take the Grindstone just because that also allows me to get a cost reduction on top of it. On the Wicked Blaze? Or on the Echoes? I think the Wicked Blaze is more important, that we can cast that when we need it. Let's get another Hallowed Halls. It has proven very, very useful in this deck. Hi Maxwell, welcome! Melee weakness? Seraph. Or Seraph the Impatient, as I like to call him. We need Rector Flicker protected. I think we play everything here. So we put the dead weight back. We want the quick one here, I think. And Rector. Bottom floor, I think we want the Draff in front, so he can get killed. Right, we have Trample to deal with. Maybe I shouldn't have played it. That drag, I mean. We might need to be careful with buffing Seraph's attack. There will eventually be a point where we can no longer tank him at all. I guess that means we play every unit on the middle floor, hallowed halls there. Echoes of the Past is pretty decent actually on the middle floor if we play all our units. That means I guess we throw a Fracture then. On the middle floor we do have the quick draft, so the units are gonna die. Now we can hallowed halls on the bottom floor, including our quick draft. We could play Wicked Blaze this turn, get another damage stack, damage buff on this draft. I think the one attack... Oh, we can't even play it there. So the first contamination doesn't go out. Fine. It is okay. Here's where we need to protect Flicker. We probably do so with the Dripfall. We play Paraffin, and we don't need the Fracture. Yep, we don't need the Fracture. Draft, not Paraffin. Protect you and protect you, I guess, with the Draft here. And this Draft still wants to die, I think. So we put it in front. And we consume the memories because we don't need them. Do we want 250 damage? Well, we can't even get it on Seraph. So let's keep our candy alive for now. Bottom floor is affected by Rally right now. I don't think we want to play this many drags. So we put one back. Let the other stuff go past. This Draff is huge now. Yeah, the quick one died quite a few times. 3 waves remaining. Maybe it's time to set these up in the back actually. This will kill you. But you have more time to die. You don't need to die right away. I think that's it. Nope. Let's set up these drags on the top floor. Okay, these guys have almost no rage, so we could play Hallowed Halls here, but that would trigger Rally. We don't want to play Hallowed Halls here on the bottom floor, because that would reset our rage, which has stacked up pretty high here on the bottom. So I think we skip Hallowed Halls this turn. That means we want to put it back, so we have it next turn. You dying kills the backliner, that is perfect. This is probably worse. Other than that, I guess we just... Well, doesn't really matter. Top floor is fine. This floor does now have some rage, but double Hallowed Halls is more powerful than that. What else can we do here? Probably not double dripfall. What's... Ah, right, the lady. I think we want to fetch the lady before we Hallowed Halls. Put up a new lady. You are already reformed as well. This one is the multi-striker. That one should probably be as far to the back as possible. And I think we also want to echoes that one. These all dying is fine. And this is our first round against Seraph. We're not dealing that much damage to him. But it's a decent amount. Hallowed Halls goes on the middle floor again. And we want to dripfall the Seraph twice. Even once is already enough. So we're doing... Yeah, we're doing a lot of damage. It's just that our units die pretty fast also. We don't have the quick draft here on the bottom floor, so these guys actually get to do their attack, which kills the Lady of the Reformed instantly, and the trample can do some serious damage to our drafts there. Nice! That worked quite well. I am confident that we can beat Divinity with this. Divinity might even be easier than Seraph. Patient is definitely one of the hardest ones for reform decks, because the Rally trigger can stack up pretty easily if you're not very careful in how you do it. I think Rector Flicker has to be in the middle. On the top, he just gets destroyed. We can do a lot of damage here on the bottom floor with Draff and Lady. I think we can wait with Proclamation. That is a pretty good start. Block one hit, get something to reform immediately. Oh, no Draff in his hand. But the Lady... That is 30... Damage double, she kills the frontliner. We put a drag in front, who gets killed by Divinity, AoEs the floor. Don't think we need to dripfall anything here. So Lady here, drag in front. Which drag? Does it matter? The reformed one, because we want to prioritize reforming the same ones over and over again. We play a drag here. This is the quick draft. That's okay to be in front. We get the big targets down. That is what matters most. And I think we just get this drag killed on the top floor. Immediately reform 2 drags. We do now have a Draff in there as well, which we can bring back with Wicked Blaze if we really need it right away. This floor is fine. This floor looks a bit less fine. But we are apparently getting an attack off, and then only die to the Extinguish trigger. Still think we don't need a Dripfall this turn, but I would like a Wicked Blaze. Right? kind of want this Draff to go here, honestly. That means it will immediately get reformed. Let's get the other Draff back. That's a quick one, right? Yes, it is. We put that here. Kill Wildwings. Get some damage to the backliner. We don't have enough candy to kill the Conduit Redirector here. Certainly not after they gained a bunch of armor. No sweep damage or anything. I think the 74 attack drag we can put down here. Actually, we can put both drags down here, I think. Then we start softening up you. Anyone we want to prevent from attacking here. These attacks don't matter too much. They matter a little bit. I guess we just daze the most dangerous enemy. That will be the Divinity. I think a Hallowed Halls on the bottom is appropriate. I do want to play both drafts beforehand. Maybe this one. Definitely multi-strike one. Do we need to drip fall anyone? We need a little bit of power here. I think this draft will deliver that kind of power. Don't think we need more drags right now. This one is much stronger. So the multi-strike draft definitely wants to be on the board when we trigger the Hallowed Halls. No harvest triggers or anything here, so quick draft in front. Lady in the very back is a bit unfortunate, but we do have the damage to kill chains, which makes me very happy. That one won't survive. That one needs to survive. You do 60. Yeah. That will do. You die to a single hit, so it won't be bothered by Ember Drain. And I think we want to daze middle floor Divinity, so you don't take too much damage. Quick Draft died again. Won't have it available this turn, but it doesn't seem necessary at all this turn. We could play out the Vengeful Shard. By putting it on top of our deck, we draw into the new draw pile, so we will only have to deal with it once. Instead of playing it now, then it will be shuffled into the new draw pile, so we would have to deal with it twice. None of these drags are weak enough to die on the top floor, but I think it's time to open up the top floor and just get some damage into Divinity and maybe get some drafts dead. Triple Striker is here on the bottom floor. I think we want to make use of that and buff them up. Doesn't make a difference for this wave, but could in the future. There is another Hallowed Halls option that could be decently strong on the top floor. On the bottom floor we lose too much rage, but we might want to play it anyways because we lose our rage to our units dying right now. So that might still be worth it. Neither of these matter too much in the next turn. Yeah, I think mostly because we do have the... are there any harvest triggers? They're not, but also this wave is just dying. So maybe we shouldn't bother. What happens if I start playing Hallowed Halls on the middle floor with Rector Flicker? We will always get him back, and if we play it twice, then he will have Burnout 5 thanks to Combustible Wax, which is not bad. Could also play it on the top floor. These all die, so they don't really do damage. But after we reform them, they will. It's not a huge amount of damage, but every little bit of damage is welcome. And yeah, we also healed the Lady of the Reformed up back to full, so... And with Burnout 4, Rector Flicker will survive until Relentless, which is all we need. Don't need to play anything on the bottom floor. Why are we at 0 Ember? Oh, there was a Pyre Wings on the bottom floor. Let's put the Wicked Blaze back. It's not a great time for it. We can play Force Contamination on the bottom floor. That's a bit annoying. High Priest might actually be kind of a bother. This is 57 hits, 55 hits. Hits for 55 rather. 57 is bigger than 55, so put that on the top floor. Well, it's time for a Hallowed Halls on the bottom. That does reset the lady's rage. Or we'll build it up quickly. We have 3 drafts and 3 drags, so we hope to hit the drafts. Ideally we hit everyone and the lady last. We do have the Wicked Blaze as well. Force Contamination might also matter. Gonna go get rid of Dripfall here. Let's see what happens. That is not very good, but it's good enough. I'm a bit surprised that this is good enough, but these drags are already hitting for like, after we gain some rage, like 80 on average. Maybe even more than that. This Draff is just hitting for 100 right now. And this one is even quick on top of that. Whether we have candy on the top floor mostly? Sure. That is fine. Don't really care about the days at all. That actually adds some damage to the Last Divinity. You dying is fine. That is good damage we get from these. Again, we put that back so we only have to deal with it once in 2 cycles. Quick Draft can go here again, I suppose. Bottom floor won't be quite enough. But it just might be once we get rid of you. Not quite, still not quite. And next turn is Relentless. This is a very weird Relentless. This Relentless would actually be somewhat problematic for us. Because... well, we do win. But it could have been quite problematic for us because it's only one turn where everything happens. We can fight the bottom floor and then hallowed halls to reform like the next floor up and stuff like that. That doesn't work. Top floor already wins, so the others don't have to fight. Yeah, we led an army of Draffs and 2 Lady of the Reformed to victory. Nice. That was a very fun deck. GG indeed, Penguins. That was a really awesome run, yeah. The 5 times dupe on the Draff with Burnout applied. Look at that number. We beat our record by about 200. What cards do you have left to Divine Master? Can maybe help to ID lesser used cards. That is not the worst idea. To look at that. Yeah, we beat the Burnout applied by over 200 here. Nice. Not a surprise. So yeah, we got that Draft with Paraffin Enforcer early. 5 times duped it. Reform Flicker before we had Hallowed Halls. After that, he wasn't really a huge part of the deck, but still helped from time to time. And of course the pure power of Hallowed Halls with Drafts. And the ladies did have an important part in all this. They were responsible for making sure the Drafts didn't just get killed off in like one wave. If we had more quick Drafts, that wouldn't have been a problem. We don't. And they were also helpful against bosses, so the Drafts wouldn't burn out. Although by the end that wasn't a problem, partially thanks to Combustible Wax. But yeah, that was a very fun reform heavy deck.